So welcome everyone. I'm Therese Hauk. I'm a nurse at St. Mary's Hospital, and I'm also a yoga instructor and a LifeVantage distributor. So I wanted to gather and talk a little bit about how to rejuvenate ourselves, getting ready for summer and summer activities. And I'll share a little bit about myself. About in November of 2012, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. It completely changed my life. I had always prided myself in thinking that I was a healthy person. I exercised regularly, ate healthy most of the time. Never perfect, but didn't smoke, don't smoke, drink a little bit, not to excess. And yet I got breast cancer, and I went through a horrible year going through double mastectomy and reconstruction and 6 months of chemotherapy. I lost my hair. It was probably one of the worst years of my life, but I survived, and I'm on the other side now, and I'm happy to say I'm cancer-free for 8 years and hoping to continue that way. But after I went through that, it kind of it rocked me and it scared me because like I said, I thought I was doing everything right for that not to happen. So how did that happen? Why did it happen? So I started to look at what I could do to prevent recurrence. And it took me 6 years. And then I ran into Annalie, who is going to be presenting tonight, and discovered this company. And we're not going to be focusing particularly on the cancer prevention benefits of these products, but if you are one of those people that want to learn about that, please, let me know, contact me. You can always message me. So I'm going to switch our screen now and get into the presentation. Just takes a second to pull up. Here we are. All right, so we always have to start with our little disclosures about what we are and what we aren't, and what we can and can't say. And the numbers that you will see are averages, and it doesn't mean that we can guarantee that any person that starts in this company can earn those things. So we're going to kind of break tonight down into 4 components, starting with talking about products and science, and then moving into a little bit about the compensation plan, as well as timing. Timing is critical, and what the system is. So this is my favorite part, is products and science. I'm kind of a science geek. I'm, like I said, I'm a nurse, and I love to know the why. Why does this work? Why doesn't this work? And so when I learned the why behind these products, it just blew my mind away. So LifeVantage began in a lab in the early 2000s with a single question. Is declining health something we have to simply accept as a part of getting older? It's a tough question. And is this and we know that there are some people that get older and are like so vibrant and healthy, and then other people become very debilitated. So what can we do to change how we age? So discoveries were made. The first discovery was our genes contain incredible abilities to keep our bodies healthy. We have a natural pharmacy in our bodies. Our body is designed to heal itself. And the second discovery was there is a way to activate these abilities. It's not just, these are our genes, we have these genes, end of story. There is a new science out there. It's called nutrigenomics. and nutra being nutrition, genomics being our genetic expression. And we can affect our genetic expression by what we eat, the supplements we take, our activity. So in 2003, LifeVantage was formed, and the research had begun, but we developed a product and started to market it. In 2003, we were in GNC stores. We didn't do very well, just about 3 million in annual revenue. And then in 2005, this report came out, John Quinones with the ABC Primetime Investigation. And if you remember this show, this is all about debunking, you know, some of these companies that were making these crazy claims. So he came around to debunk our company, but he didn't. He actually showed that we were doing what we said we were going to do. So after that happened, there was this flurry of attention, and many universities, you know, heard about this and said, what is this? We want to do some real research on this. And so you can see the list of some of these major universities, Harvard, you know, University of Colorado, Colorado State, even the American Heart Association, National Institute of Health, all researched our first product, which was Protandim NRF2, to see if our claims were true. And so we ended up with 26 peer-reviewed studies, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. And so then in 2009, we were on the point of bankruptcy, because even with all that media activity, I mean, people kind of forgot, and being in GNC stores just was not working. That model was not working. So we had a consultant come in, and they recommended that we go to direct sales. And that's where we are today. So we went from retail to direct sales in 2009. And since then, our company has grown dramatically. And the key word in our products is activation. We are activating our bodies to do what they are naturally designed to do. And so we're going to talk a little bit about theories of aging, because, you know, energy declines with age. And so it's all related. And I'm going to turn the meeting over to Rachel Roseberry. And she is a blessed single mom of 2 amazing children, and she's also my daughter. She is a full-time surgical assistant working for an oral surgeon here in Grand Junction. She is a former fitness and dance instructor that has always been passionate about nutrition and wellness. And even at the ripe age of 32, she had a really 32. incredible result with our products. So take it away, Rachel.
All right. So the very first theory of aging is related to oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is a really natural process that happens in our bodies, and more people know it as free radical damage. We are bombarded constantly by oxidative stress, and it has an impact that's really negative on our cells. But our bodies naturally have a defense mechanism to this, and they create their own antioxidants and will fight off this free radical damage, which is a very natural thing when we're younger. But as we age and get older, the biggest hurdle we find is that our body's production of these antioxidants slows down, and we aren't able to produce as many. So the free radical damage is more of an imbalance in our bodies, and we can't fight it off as well. And oxidative stress, to give you a better example of what that really is the oxygen is basically rusting our bodies from the inside out. If you think of cutting an apple in half and you leave that apple out on the counter, what does it do? Well, it browns. Or you leave a piece of metal outside in the sun, and in the elements, it ends up rusting. And it's because the oxygen is literally causing free radical damage. And so that makes me want to go into kind of the next part of oxidative stress, which is what is causing oxidative stress. So there's a lot of factors. What I just said, oxygen. So even the air we are breathing is causing oxidative stress, and that's a good thing. We of course need to breathe air to survive. And so there's other things like our diet is going to affect that. The toxins in the air, the pollutants in the air are going to affect us. Even things like exercise, again, something that's really good for us, is going to cause oxidative stress in our bodies. And then smoking, of course, drinking excessive alcohol, not being active, and even things like the EMF signals from our phones have a potential to cause oxidative stress in our bodies. And so we have a lot of things coming in, and we have always known that our diet can be a way to fight oxidative stress, because we have our antioxidants that we've known kind of come from our diet and can cancel out these free radicals. But what's amazing about Protandim and oxidative stress is Protandim has been scientifically proven to lower oxidative stress by 40% in 100% of human beings in 30 days. So that's really huge. And I'm sorry, my kids are here too, so you might hear them in the background, but just they're kind of playing. So, well, that's amazing. But where did this come from? And it really came from Dr. Joe McCord discovered what was called the NRF2 pathway. It was a pathway in our bodies that he discovered because he was trying to study what's the best antioxidant, what is going to be the best antioxidant we can consume to help lower the free radical damage and oxidative stress in our bodies. And he put together these 5 basic natural herbs and found that it had increased the antioxidant level in our bodies, increasing our antioxidant enzymes like SOD and catalase and glutathione. If you kind of geek out on some of those words, you know what I'm talking about. And at very, very high levels too. So this was the NRF2 pathway that he had found. So it's like a doorbell on our cells. All of our cells can be affected by the NRF2 pathway, and these 5 herbs, the combination and the proprietary blend that they are, come in and they ring the doorbell on the cell and say, we're going to make more antioxidants and produce more antioxidants. And that's where you're seeing this 40% decrease in oxidative stress. All right. So as I was kind of talking about how our diet can really affect, because I love nutrition and I'm very passionate about trying to eat and consume the best diet I possibly can, but the antioxidants that I'm consuming from blueberries or kale, so I'm consuming those antioxidants, I am going to have one antioxidant enzyme come in, and that's going to cancel out one free radical, and it's a one and done procedure. So what Protandim does is actually does a 1 to 1 million free radicals. So just taking our one little yellow pill will eliminate millions of free radicals. I almost think of it as like a Pac-Man that's just eating up, gobbling up all of those free radicals that are in our bodies. And let's see, dietary antioxidants, they do not make an impact on oxidative stress as much as the NRF2 synergizers. You can, but when you're having an imbalance of your body, it's like taking a Dixie cup of water and trying to pour it on an open fire. And what NRF2 synergizer does is takes that hose and is going to knock out all of the fire and actually put it out and bring our body back into balance. So if you think about this, taking one pill of Protandim is like taking eating 11 pounds of blueberries a day, or 375 oranges a day, or taking 120 tablets of vitamin C, or drinking 87 glasses of red wine daily. And I don't know about any of you, but I definitely can't do that in a day. And so what we see too is, you can see the little graph that's on that right hand side. As we age, our oxidative stress level is going up. So what Protandim is doing is keeping our oxidative stress level at the same level as we were when we were in our 20s. So that's great. So a lot of people do feel they have a little bit more energy with this product. And it's just great because you're getting your body back in balance. And it's not just us saying this. There's a lot of really prestigious universities, places that have studied this and shown that this is actually true in the science as well. I mean, I'm not going to be going to try and debate with the University of Colorado or Harvard University. They are pretty prestigious, and they were doing their own research, and 25 or 26 is it now, I think, peer-reviewed studies is pretty amazing, because I was definitely skeptical when this was first introduced to me by Therese, and I did my research as well and realized, wow, this is really amazing, and there's some amazing science. So if you ever are interested in any kind of science, go to PubMed.gov. It's a great place to look up these studies. It's also a great place to look up oxidative stress. There's over, I think, 200,000 studies now that have been done on oxidative stress alone. It's definitely a big problem, and I love what Washington State University said. NRF2 is likely to be the most important health promoting approach in the foreseeable future. NRF2 may be the most extraordinary breakthrough in the history of health. And it's really exciting. So we're going to move on to the second theory of aging, which is mitochondrial decline. And so the issue with this, I don't know if you guys remember in like Biology 101, the mighty mitochondria, which is basically, it's the powerhouse of our cells, right? This is where our energy is coming from. And this is just kind of our powerhouse. And we kind of get low energy as we start to age. I mean, I'm in my early 30s and I'm already seeing a decline in energy. And so your body is constantly fixing or removing the damaged mitochondria, because as you age, free radicals can cause damage to our mitochondria, and we aren't able to produce new mitochondria and they aren't going to function as well as we are getting older. And that is also related to a lot of disease, just like oxidative stress. So the NRF1 pathway was the next pathway that was discovered that helps mitochondrial function. So again, 5 really simple ingredients activate this NRF1 pathway, which increases our energy and actually helps with our sleep as well. And not just, the amount of sleep we're getting, but getting into that deep REM sleep where we're dreaming, and that's really what our brains need to do their processes in the middle of the night, and to really get that cognitive function back, and so that also really supports our brain. And so they discovered that NRF1 Protandim and NRF2 Protandim are 2 great components to just take care of our cells. So we have, I go to the next slide, please. Next one.
The next one goes into sirtuin.
Yeah, the next. Okay. Yeah, because the next one goes into our third theory of aging, because these 2 components are great together. But we really have a third component that works as well. And I think Therese, who is just amazing, she has a heart of gold. Of course, she's my mom, so she's my favorite. And, she's just like worked so hard to put all of this together. So I'll
Oh,
hand it
thank
back to
you.
you, Therese.
Thank you, Rachel. So yeah, you think you're losing energy in your 30s, wait till you're in your 50s. It's really bad. And so I am so grateful to be on these products because I have noticed just such an improvement in my energy levels from being on all of these. And so sirtuin activity. Sirtuin is another kind of scientific word. It's actually a protein in our body, and it's kind of like this they call it like the CEO of the cell, and it's responsible for removing a lot of the sludge that builds up in your cell as you age and as it functions. And so what happens as we get older, you know, it's just like the other two processes, our sirtuin levels decline. Our sirtuin protein is important. You cannot survive without sirtuins. If you remove sirtuins from a cell, it will die. And so the body is always making new sirtuins, but not at such a rapid rate as we get older. And our sirtuin levels actually decline. By the time we're 50, they have declined by about 40%. So that's a lot. And if you've ever done any research on aging, you will come across this sirtuin theory. It's actually been studied quite a bit. And so if you, there's an analogy that works that I really like with regards to sirtuins, the cell, and then the switch that turns on sirtuins is our NAD pathway. So if you think about like a CD, if you have a CD that you know is clean, it doesn't have any scratches on it, you can stick it in the CD player, it plays, right? But if it has scratches on it or it's dirty, and you put it in it might be the same CD, but if it's covered with dirt, you cannot play it. It cannot be read. And that's kind of what the activity of sirtuin does, is it cleans off. It's like a buffer cloth that cleans off all that dirt and all those scratches. And then NAD is like the cream, the buffer cream that you use to clean the CD or your cells. So both of them are necessary. They work together. NAD is like almost like the fuel for sirtuin. And our company has found this pathway and has found a way to activate this pathway to activate sirtuins. And it's 4 ingredients, 4 natural ingredients again. And then if you look and see what happens if we can activate our sirtuin levels, supports healthy longevity, improves mental focus and concentration, supports positive mood and motivation. Here it is: boosts mental and physical energy, supports the body's healthy inflammatory response, and also maintains cholesterol levels that are already in a healthy range, and then supports healthy vascular system, our heart. So very important things that sirtuins do. And the 3 all together, NRF2, NRF1, and NAD, they're all activating our body. We're attacking this aging process in 3 different ways, and we call this our tri-synergizer. And just one more slide I want to show you. You know, we mentioned that genes, genetic expression, is what affects aging. And so they've looked at a couple of different genes that are increased. And what this slide is showing is how these certain genes, when you take just NRF2 alone, or just NRF1 alone, or NAD, how much these genes improve in function. Now, if you take all 3 products together, this is what you see. Dramatic increase in everything. So what you think you're going to benefit by just taking NRF2, NRF1. If you take all three together, it's, you know, much more of an increase, much more of an effect. And so I want to turn the meeting now over to Michael, because we can talk about science all day long, but most people want to hear real life stories. And so Michael has started his parents on these tri-synergizers. And so Michael has spent most of his life in Southern Oregon and moved to Colorado in August. He's had many occupations, many jobs, and throughout his life, from glass artist and professional beekeeper to city planning. But in 2016, he went to school for Bowen therapy, Bowen. And he says it's like a mechanical biohacking of the body. So it's with LifeVantage, we're working from the inside out. With Bowen therapy, he's helping from the outside in. And he says he loves to help people. He's currently restarting his practice here, Systematic Bowen by Michael. And it's also in conjunction with other Bowen therapists here in town at Spinning Tree Healing. So thank you, Michael.
Thank you, much appreciated. So my story starts out back in 1998. I originally got a tick bite and developed Lyme's disease, but didn't know what was happening to me. So in 2006, I was finally CDC diagnosed with Lyme's disease as one of the first patients clinically diagnosed in Oregon. I proceeded to go through probably 5 years of treatment and finally just gave up on my treatments because the treatment was kind of worse than the disease was. I honestly think I still do have Lyme's disease, but I kind of struggled for about 10 years, and moving here and meeting some of the people in this group, I started on the LifeVantage protocol, and I've had great results since then. It's kind of one of the first times I've kind of got over my Hertz reactions over time, and the first time my gut health has actually been a lot more stable. My parents just recently got on the Tri-Synergy program or protocol, and I'm really excited for my dad because he's been suffering from memory loss issues for about 7 years, and for him it was a really dramatic kind of turn, because after 2 weeks he started to actually see some really improved, like, positive outcomes from it, and he was suffering from a lot of anxiety in association with it. He would kind of like start to drive places and he couldn't remember where he was going, and it's been great because 3 weeks into it, his anxieties have really mellowed, and he keeps talking about how everything's going great for him. And for me too. I had leaky gut syndrome, according to doctors. I had fibromyalgia. I had MS, and I never did get tested for MS, but a lot of the other ones are symptomatic like symptoms. And I've actually been doing a lot better in association with my gut health and my overall energy. And I'm actually just really excited to be at a moving point and turning point in my life. And whereas we can't like make any claims or anything with what these products do, I've seen in my life how they've really helped people. And I guess with that, I'd like to turn it back to you.
And so, Michael, what are you taking then? Are you on the Vitality Stack?
I'm on the Vitality Stack.
Okay.
And then for my parents, they had a lot of probiotics and different fish oils, and they actually are kind of working through that, and I'm trying to get them on the full product protocol with the Tri-Synergy. As a distributor, I lucked out and was able to receive some ads like shipments originally, and so I've been taking one a day for a while, and actually ordered some supplementals. So I'm doing one ad with Vitality Stack, and they're doing the regular Vitality Stack, and they're going to be switching over to, the Tri-Synergy, and they're going to be switching over to the Vitality Stack with NAD. here in another month or so.
Awesome. Yeah, and so I wanted, he's talking about this vitality stack, and so I'm going to turn the meeting over to Annalie, who is one of my mentors with yoga. She was one of the people that introduced me to yoga 25 years ago or so. No, it was probably about 21 years ago, because you were pregnant at the time with your
Right.
twins. And she has been in the yoga and movement therapy industry for about 30 years. She loves to educate people. She has been involved with LifeVantage for about 4 years now. And I am just so thrilled that we have connected and are able to work together. So I'll let you talk about some other things.
Great. So, today's focus really was on activation, which is our Tri-Synergizer. But it'd be number one part of my job is to educate a little further, and also then to talk about business. But the Vitality Stack, and I'll go through it just quickly, is what Michael and Teresa are talking about. The Vitality Stack would be taking the NRF2 Protandim, the NRF1, and because for things like Lyme's disease and things with autoimmune, the gut health is so important that our probiotic, a probiotic, is on that protocol. So if we put people on a probiotic with the other products, their gut health becomes better. Well, what's connected to gut health? Brain health, cognition, so even memory comes back. So we do have a proprietary product that gets through the gut acids. It's effective 60%, as opposed to some probiotics, only 4% get through the gut. And I could go on, but with a syndrome that Michael had, leaky gut, you would want those junctures to be tight. So that's on the probiotic. We also have the Omega. So the Omega would complete our Vitality Stack. And Omega, the fish oil that we have is source boat to bottle. It's clean product. We track it. What's more important about it is that it has the right types of fatty acids in there, omega 3 and 7 as opposed to 6. And if you want more information, there's much to it, but it is very, very important, omega, for our brain health, for our joints, and particularly the omega-7 is important in metabolism. So when you put all this together, it's a lot to take in between activation and taking care of the other foundation. But when you have this, we have our complete pillars to health. So the product line, this leads into the other amazing part. So if you're on the Vitality Stack, you're boosting your body in the best way you can. If you're activating with our Tri-Synergizer, you're turning on every natural mechanism that's possible. I was only on NRF2, and my story has to do with my knee. That might be expanded another time. But my results have been so dramatic at the age of 58 now, without a knee replacement necessary. I've gone back to, I haven't gone back to tango yet because of the isolation, but I will soon. What's really important, and this actually does lead to why we're all here, the products are amazing. We find that on these products, you can change your life. Well, my dramatic story too is that until a year and a half ago, I had overhead, a business where people came to and sought service from me. With LifeVantage and with the shutdown of businesses, I am very grateful, as some of you are too, to have this business as a part of our health package, because as you know, our physical health, getting our cells healthy is important, but having continuity and fluid financial health is just as important. So why do we showing this as the different ways that you can join, and with it, if you're interested in trying all the products, we have all the way up to a platinum pack, which you can try everything and have a substantial discount. So Therese, let's see the next. This company makes it incredibly easy to shop, whether you're sending a shopping cart to someone or shopping yourself. We, as you can see, we do things in packages. Shipping is free. Again, this is a way that you can share it. So on to the next part of health is having compensation. There's so many different ways that this company can pay you. What's most important to know is that we are 80% customer based. Customers are king. 20% like us are distributors. But what this does is allow us to get paid in a very, very fair way. And there are multiple levels and ways to gain commissions to go into another time. And what's more important than having profit is to realize that you don't have to have overhead, and we allow you to have very low overhead, mostly on the product that you take and for the people that you choose to share it with. So Therese, if you look at this graph, it's easy to get caught up in this, but in the way that I look at it, I signed on Therese. Therese signed on Rachel. We didn't know Michael before this, but another distributor that's Therese signed on Michael. So you can see just from the small pyramid, just by sharing and witnessing people's health change, can you grow this business? I would say there's so many different ways to get paid, but if you expand your business just like this graph, you will see some profit. You can skip by that one. There's many ways and to go into depth with it another time. What I think is most important to remember is that this company has the perfect meld. You can work from home or anywhere, as I am right now, and like everyone else is on this presenting tonight. With social sharing, it is possible. We all use Facebook, we use platforms. So educating online is mainstream now. We have this beautiful slide presentation. You don't need to know everything. You don't need to know all the science. You just need to share your story. We're going to go back to Therese for why timing is important.
Okay, timing. Why LifeVantage? Why now? Well, that's a really good, those are both two really good questions. You know, LifeVantage, I feel like my world, everybody knows about LifeVantage, but in reality, very few in this country or in Canada know LifeVantage. If you go out tomorrow and ask your neighbor or, you know, pick 5 people, have you heard of LifeVantage? And probably most of them will tell you no. So the timing in that way is that we have a wide open market. We are a newer company, but we are not so new. We're, you know, over 10 years old. So we're not so new that we are going to, you know, face the risk of not succeeding. We are doing very, very well, and we will continue to grow. And one of the reasons is because if you look at this graph and you look at all different types of network marketing programs that are out there, the one that has the highest market is wellness. And not only that, it's also the one that is growing the most rapidly. So from 2010 to 2018, in 8 years, we have pretty much taken over the network marketing world. And so anytime you're starting a business, you want to kind of look at trends and where things are going. This is another graph that really illustrates how great the timing is for us. You know, our NRF2 reduces oxidative stress. Well, our medical community is learning by this graph how much research is being done on oxidative stress. And like Rachel said earlier, there's over 220,000 studies published relating oxidative stress to almost every disease out there. And you can go to PubMed.gov and type in oxidative stress, and boom, those studies will come up. So it's, and the numbers say that wait, I already said that. Okay, so flipping the switch, feeling better, doing more, those are the amazing things that we want to do. Our company is based out of Salt Lake City. We're American made. I love that. And in the last 2 years, I'm just going to quickly go through some of the amazing advancements that we've had. Our CEO, Darren Jensen, was appointed to the board of directors for the Direct Selling Association, which is like this national selling association for all network marketers. We launched in Spain. We are moving globally. We got an award for being one of the best places to work in Salt Lake City. Launched in Ireland. Erin Brockovich, you guys remember Erin Brockovich? What an awesome movie that was. Well, the real live Erin Brockovich, not Julia Roberts, the real live Erin Brockovich is on our board, and she's really cool. She's all about wellness, prevention, and helping the people. We got a Stevie Award in 2019 for our hair care line. It's awesome, awesome line based on NRF2 technology. We launched in Belgium. We got on the Russell 3000 index, which is a really huge financial marker. And we celebrated our 10-year anniversary in Kansas City last summer. I went, it was really fun. It was really hot, but it was really fun. And then we're just continuing to grow and grow and grow. Last year was our best fiscal year, and our best quarter was the fourth fiscal quarter of last year. So it's just exciting stuff. And then our NAD Synergizer, we just launched that last fall. So it's a new product. It's just getting out there. People are just discovering it. We launched in New Zealand. So we got, and in 2020, this year, we started free shipping. That's a pretty big deal for our customers. We got to ring the NASDAQ bell in January. You know, we are publicly traded on the NASDAQ. This was quite an honor for our company. You can't see it, it's behind this, but we're on a soccer jersey for the Salt Lake City team. And these are all of the markets that we're in now, over 25 markets internationally. And we also have a program, it's a way of paying back, and it's called Legacy. And we go down every summer, a group of people goes down and builds houses for people in Mexico. It's just a really moving, wonderful thing that our company does. So, you know, some of you might be thinking, well, show me the money. You know, that's one of the things. If you're going to start a business, how much can you make? And so I like this slide because I've done other network marketing businesses before, and I never saw a slide like this. But because we're publicly traded on the NASDAQ, we have to report these incomes. And so if you look at the far left, these are the different ranks that you can advance to in our company. The third column shows how much average people make. And so, for example, you know, a lot of people just want to pay for their product when they first sign up a few friends, some family members. And, you know, if you sign up a few friends, maybe you could get a couple of distributors under you who are going to do the same thing. It's very easy to get to Pro 3. And your average monthly income is $626. That's a pretty sweet little amount of money. It'll more than pay for your product. Might help out with, you know, a couple other things in your household. Annalie is a Pro 5. She's actually between a Pro 5 and a Pro 6. So she's making a, pretty good wage. She was able to, leave her overhead and be able to do this and make good income, and she gets to stay at home. Our mentor here in town, Dr. Rebecca Glasser, she is a plastic surgeon, and she was able to leave her business to devote all of her time to LifeVantage. And so she's between a Pro 7 and a Pro 8. So she's making some serious cash. She got a Jeep from the company, and it wasn't a lease thing. She owns that Jeep. So this company it takes good care of us. I love it. And so I think the biggest question you're going to ask now is, can I do this? And I don't know if I can do it. Anybody can do it. That's how I feel. But Annalie is going to end with just going over real quickly the system.
Yeah. Like everything else, everything has a system, our health, our finances. What is really nice is we have the best team building this business. We have the best leadership. So launch, learn, lead is what we can do to grow a business. If each of us can share it and train anybody else, everything's provided for us. We can support, there's incentives to keep you motivated, and we provide, we support community, and we support each other on our team. This is what makes it possible. Anyone who's on our team knows that now that we can't socially get together, we still have our Zoom meetings. So if you want more information, there's 3 ways to take this in. Number 1, take the product. You're certain to feel some changes in your health and your emotional and physical health. If you need more information, contact the person who invited you to this meeting. You can become a customer. And then again, the options are to expand your health and your financial health by joining our team. And I want to thank everyone else who presented tonight. So Therese, I'll let you close.
I think you guys are both still muted.
Sorry about that. So I just want to thank you all for being on tonight, and I hope you all have a great night, and let's spread the word and bring people back to some good health. Have a good night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you all for participating.
Thank you.